What happened to Rae Sremmurd by mattyballz, bruh? Talk to me, Maddie.
Is a duo with multiple gold, platinum, and even Rae Sremmurd is a duo with multiple gold, platinum, and even diamond records. From like 2014 to 2018, they were some of the most dominant artists in popular music with an insane run we haven't seen in a long time. But then it seems like Rae Sremmurd just disappeared, with many fans having no idea why. However, it's
because they found out that Jimmy wasn't talented.
Truth is very complicated and has a
I'm just kidding, but like dead ass people started favoring Swae over Slim Jimmy.
A lot to do with jealousy and mental health issues between the two brothers.
Oh.
If you didn't know, Rae Sremmurd was composed of two brothers, Swae and Slim Jimmy. At a young age, they started dancing and writing music together for fun. Then while playing basketball at a local park, they met a guy named J-Bo and decided to make a rap group. Also, kind of just random funny fact, J-Bo won his little pants with the brothers going as Cali Boy and Kid Crunk. They started to buy equipment and make music at home and put out a bunch of songs and dances online. They actually got kicked out by their mom because she was fed up with them coming home late, so they started living in an abandoned house and actually used it to host parties and promote their music. In a Fader interview, they were talking about this, saying, "We made sure everybody knew that we didn't give a f what color you are. Pull up, we finna get it lit." The black people didn't know how the white people partied, the white people didn't know how the Latino people partied, so we brought them all together at our crib where everybody could get along. The people that came were the people who understood the world is bigger than black and white. And I think it kind of foreshadowed the type of music they would make. They made fun party music that everybody of all sorts of backgrounds could just enjoy and have fun with together. In 2010, they put out a track called Party Animal, which gave them some local buzz, so they were played on local stations and did local shows. They made enough money from this to go to Memphis and audition for Wild Out Wednesday, which was a segment on 106 in Park. They continued getting buzz and doing their thing underground for a little bit. And after making their
Jimmy, I'm so glad you got rid of that shit, bro. I'm so glad you got rid of that shit, bro.
way through the Atlanta local scene, they met Mike Will Made It, and this is when everything would change. They changed their name.
That's a fact, bro, because their first album had like nothing but Mike Will Made It tags on them, bro. Low key, bro.
Swae, Slim Jimmy, and became the group Rae Sremmurd, which, if you didn't know, is eardrummers backwards. This meme is very
nigga, I be knowing
accurate about how I felt knowing this back then. They featured on Mike Will's mixtape, Mike Will Been Trill, on the track We, which helped them grow and was released as their first promotional single months later. Then they released their second single, Throw Some Mo, which helped them get on the radio. Then in 2014, they performed at South by Southwest with Mike Will and played their first official single, No Flex Zone. This song was released shortly after, got a music video, and went kinda crazy. It entered the Billboard Hot 100 and peaked.
It's crazy because we all thought it was like a little ass girl in the fucking studio, and it was like
at number 36. So only in their first couple of songs as Rae Sremmurd, they had already hit Billboard. They also got a remix with Pusha T and Nicki Minaj, which helped them grow a ton. Like I said, this was crazy for their third song to, you know, get all these things happening right away. But it seems like working with Mike Will Made It really helped them get in the industry. Rae Sremmurd then got invited to perform at the 2014 BET Hip Hop Awards, which was their first big performance. Then they released their second official single, No Type. This track hit
I don't got no type. Yeah. Bad bitches is the only thing that I like. Ooh.
number 16 on the Hot 100 chart. Both of these songs went on to be platinum records.
Fire.
3 times and 7 times respectively.
7 times.
No Type was also a little
that shit almost went diamond.
bit viral for people saying that it was a contradictory song. You guys can debate whether having no
Bro, niggas was saying that in school. They were like, how you gonna say you have no type and they say bad bitches? Bad bitches is a type.
Type, but only liking bad bitches is contradictory in the comments below. Then at the end of 2014, they released their debut album, Shrem Life. They also released Throw Some More with some verses from Young Thug and Nicki Minaj. It's just mind-blowing to me how like quickly they came out with multiple bangers that are still hard to this day, so shortly after connecting with Mike Will. I promise if they came out recently, everyone would.
Bro, I actually listened to their first album a lot. It's actually my favorite. I like Black Beatles, don't get me wrong. I love some of the songs off their Shrem Life 2. But after that, I started like, not too big of a fan of them. Well, okay, not saying not too big of a fan of them, but I'm saying like, not too big of a fan of the third Shrem Life. Let me see. URS. Sorry. URS. Oh, matter of fact, no, it was Shrem Life 1. is the one that I love the most. Shrem Life 2 was cool. Shrem Life 2 had some bangers on it too. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fucking By Chance, Look Alive, Look Alive came a long way. Swang. Oh, I'm tripping. I love the second one too. So, okay, so the first one and the second one, Shrem Life and Shrem Life 2, I really liked. But then when they got to Shrem with the 3 instead of the E, that's when I was like, because that's when they started doing like the Swae Lee songs, Slim Jimmy songs. And it was like, I like Powerglide. I like Perplexing Pegasus. I like Guatemala. But that's it. There's nothing else. And then they made Shrem 4. And I was like, yeah, no.
I've been calling them industry plans. Regardless, they released Shrem Life shortly after announcing it and kicked off 2015 the right
Shrem
way.
Life fire.
They sold 49,000 units first week, hit 5 on the Billboard 200, and the album had a lot of positive reviews.
Bro, their first one had like all bangers. Bro, listen. No Flex Zone, This Could Be Us, Come Get Her, Up Like Trump, No Type, YNO, Throw Some More, S7. They had 11 songs on the album. Bro, 11 songs. That's 4 songs that may not have been big hits, but people probably still like.
Come Get Her, which would also go on to be 5
Somebody
times.
come get her. She dancing like a stripper. This music video was hilarious though.
It was platinum, and it had a ton of radio play.
Nobody making that type of music. Even right now, it's like the type of music that we was putting out is like nobody really creating that. And it's like you can't just make that trying to copy somebody. It's like that's why it's like when people try to recreate it, it's just like it don't hit the same. Like,
and Swae was right. They had a unique sound and good vibe that I feel like a lot of other artists around then didn't really have, which seemed to help them blow up a lot. They released a bunch of singles this year that hit the charts, and they also opened for Nicki Minaj on her Pink tour. They also did a worldwide tour for their album. They even won a BET award this year for Best Group. Shrem Life was ranked by Complex as 3rd best album of the year. And of course, hip-hop's biggest hater, Ebro, chimed in and said it didn't belong there, but no one really cares what
Ebro
he says
in the morning.
anyway. Also in this year, Swae Lee did a song with Future and The Weeknd, which was his first single as a solo artist and would eventually seemingly lead to a rift between him and his brother. However, the two continued killing the game together, releasing their next big single in 2016, Black Beatles. If you guys don't remember this song, it was the one that was like, Black Beatles in the city, be back immediately.
Black Beatles in the city, be back immediately to confiscate the money. Okay, sorry.
It was that song. Regardless of my singing, it was a chart-topping track that eventually went diamond. This is also surprising, but apparently this was the song that gave Gucci Mane his first #1. Part of the reason this song did so well, though, was because of this trend called the mannequin challenge, where people would just freeze, basically doing funny or impressive poses. This trend was massive, bigger than Ninja, Low Tape, or Fade, and everyone was doing a video like this, with some of them being really funny or cool. The mannequin challenge made its way up to Hillary and Bill Clinton, so that's how you know everybody was doing it.
You got Hillary Clinton up here, you know what I'm saying? You got Bill Clinton up here doing the mannequin challenge.
Right.
So like these people are getting introduced to this whole other world that they never would have heard about through a challenge, you know what I'm saying? They having fun. Sunflowers, you know what I'm saying?
Thug also named a song he did with Juice WRLD after the challenge, and that song was a banger as well. And there's no doubt in my mind that this was the peak of Rae Sremmurd. They had tons of huge singles, well-performing albums, and a year-defining song with Black Beatles. Also, one memory I unlocked while making this was Swae Lee's Snapchat stories back in the day. I remember he bought a pet monkey that he was always posting, and he also bought this super realistic...
Didn't the pet monkey like rip his ear or some shit?
Thanos glove and was playing with it, or maybe it was an Iron Man glove. I don't remember.
No,
but clearly
Thanos.
These guys were on top of the world, coming from performing in an abandoned house that they were living in to buying monkeys in Thanos gloves. But then the two brothers would start venturing out more so into their own solo careers, which seemingly would...
And this is where the problem started, because Jimmy didn't do as well as Swae Lee, and yeah,
lead to some type of sibling rivalry, or at least that's what fans theorized. The same year that they went crazy with Black Beatles, both artists also announced their own solo projects as well, but they made sure to say that they were going to keep working on Shrem Life 3. The following year, though, Swae Lee featured on French Montana's
Unforgettable. Bro.
Extremely successful track, Unforgettable, and Swae by all means made this song his own. The song peaked at 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and again eventually went diamond. Rae Sremmurd was still putting out tracks, but Swae Lee was beginning to get most of the attention. In 2018, he was described as the songbird of our generation and said that he considers himself more of a singer than a rapper, which all proved to be true when he put out the track Sunflower with Post Malone, which again went diamond. It's actually insane when you think about it, but Swae Lee, if you include Black Beatles, has more diamond records than almost every other rap artist aside from like Eminem, Drake, Cardi B, and maybe...
It's 3 including Rae Sremmurd because Black Beatles. Holy shit.
A couple others. Mike Will also announced around this time that Swae Lee and Slim Jimmy would release their 2 solo projects under the same album as Shrem Life 3, making it some sort of weird triple album, some sort of Frankenstein type of album. But regardless, they continued putting out singles like Teed Up and Powerglide, which also did fairly well.
Powerglide. Bro, I love Powerglide.
By this point though, Swae Lee was definitely outshining his brother by a good margin. He even put out a song with Drake called Won't Be Late. But after 2018, it was mostly radio silence from Rae Sremmurd, and it was almost as if they had vanished. Many were confused, like how could this duo come into the rap game so quickly and just absolutely crush it in such a brief period of time, putting up numbers like almost nobody else and then just vanish. Some have tried to blame Swae Lee for leaving his brother behind while he furthered his solo career, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that, and that there are a few main reasons as to why Rae Sremmurd went MIA. Swae Lee continued doing his thing as a solo artist, putting out some singles and doing some features. I didn't even know this, but he was on a remix of that TikTok song Roxanne, which was also pretty successful, and he was also on one of the Madden soundtracks. But this whole time, Rae Sremmurd was inactive, and Slim Jimmy was MIA. Slim Jimmy had done a couple of songs with some random people like Designer, who was kind of off at that time, and even that industry plant Baby Goth that I've covered before, but no one was really paying attention to him when he would drop music. And I think one of the main reasons that this happened was because of Slim Jimmy's declining mental health. Slim Jimmy has openly talked about his drug use throughout his life before he even got famous.
So, you know, I used was a part of the poppin' Zans era, you know what I'm saying? I used to pop pills and shit, you know what I'm saying? So
how old were you when you first started popping pills?
For like 21. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So this was after you guys got signed and already started?
Nah, this is like probably a little bit before.
Right,
you know
before,
what I'm saying? I'm working in a factory, like it's on one of them types of things, popping the addy to stay up type shit. Like that's how it starts.
So you didn't have money back then.
Jimmy older, he was older, so that makes sense.
They could afford.
Because Swae Lee was like maybe 20 or 19 when he started.
Yeah, then I'm just trying shit, but like I never, you know, nigga never did no coke or nothing like that. But like
Me neither.
I had my fun or whatever, so got done with that, but.
And this could be seen to a further extent after he got famous. For example, in a 2018 interview with Rolling Stone, he talked about the time he crashed his rented Ferrari. I played chicken with traffic. I woke up from this party. I don't even know where my shirt was. Got in the Ferrari, no shirt on. He then said he blew a red light, overturned, and crashed. He continued, drove home with the front dragging on the ground. Now, he didn't explicitly say that he was on drugs during this time, but I think it's safe to assume that. Jimmy's drug use got worse, he said, after experiencing an injury in 2015 during his set at the Governor's Ball when he accidentally jumped off stage and cut his leg on a light.
The pill era is something different, man.
Yeah, that was like...
I know, like for example, whenever I've had like little surgeries and they give me Xanax or something, I throw them away.
To be honest, that's kind of really what got me bad though. To be honest, I did pop addies at first, you know what I'm saying? But then when I don't know if you remember this, like it was Governor's Ball. I had jumped off the stage. I thought it was a speaker, but I didn't jump through like a spotlight. Yeah, so it cut my leg all the way open. They had prescribed me like Oxycontins. Now, I was doing Oxycontin for my pain, but after the pain went away and all that shit, I'm still got this little, you know what I'm saying? So then that's when I start popping Xans, Perks, little shit like that. And then before I know it, it's a problem, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
So because of drug use mixed with people beginning to point out that Swae
got a
was
Mac
taking
Pro
all
down
the
here.
attention away from his
This nigga got a Mac Pro down here. Look at that shit.
brother, things between the two seemed to get pretty serious. Then in 2019, Slim had a little bit of a Twitter meltdown saying he was done with Rae Sremmurd. He said,
"Hold on, I bought my mama $1 million crib off my work. I'm not Rae Sremmurd, I'm Slim Jimmy, and I'm a sink or swim by myself, not Shrem Life.
Not Shrem Life, I'm not Rae Sremmurd, I'm Slim Jimmy, and I'm a sink or swim by myself. I bought my mama $1 million crib off my work. Y'all still got your man Swae, y'all'll be straight."
You know what's so crazy? Is the fact that, like, kids are so loyal to their mom, bro. She kicked them out. She kicked them out. I don't know if they were bad kids or not, but she kicked them out, and they still bought her a house. Nigga, if I don't care who you are. You told me you don't believe in me, you kick me out. I'm not buying you no house when I get rich. That's crazy.
He also posted on his Instagram, "Rip Slim Jim." This caused a ton of fans to think that the lack of music and whatnot, as well as these tweets, meant that this iconic duo had broken up. Eventually, Rae Sremmurd's main Twitter came out and said that it wasn't true, but Slim rebutted that, saying that whoever was on the account was lying. Even Trippie Redd jumped into the mix, saying he finally realized we only listened to Swae part.
What the fuck? Trippy, bro, what the hell?
It's LMAO. Eventually, Swae Lee responded to this whole situation, saying on Twitter, "I'm never leaving Shrem Life, stop the speculation." Slim said that people started to pit him against his brother, and it was causing problems for him mentally, especially coupled with the drugs. As much as Slim has said in interviews that he wasn't ever jealous of his brother, it's hard to imagine that with the drugs, with the more sensitive state he was in, and Swae Lee's extreme success apart from theirs, it just seems impossible that this wasn't affecting his mental health at all. Back in that Fader interview I mentioned earlier, way back in 2016, Jimmy did say, "We're real brothers. We always get mad at each other. I like to see my brother doing good. We're like yin and yang. I'm more on the wild."
I don't know if y'all could see this, but why the fuck did they have to add this part? Jimmy says in his bedroom where there's a painting of a frog on the wall. Now, what relevance does this have to the story, bro?
Outside. "I want to go skydiving. Swae's scared he's gonna die." So clearly they're different, you know, they have their arguments, and that's a normal human relationship. And eventually he said that the drugs were the main reason he was tweeting about the group splitting, and that it followed a fight that he had with Swae.
Might be me and my brother be arguing a lot. We used to argue a lot, so goddamn, we'll be fighting or whatever. I might have got mad, goddamn. When you do drugs, like,
Might have got mad,
you get real
goddamn.
sensitive. I don't know what about drugs just be making niggas sensitive and shit. So like, I just tweeted that shit, but people took that shit like it was on wax, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't even like that. It was just, that was an emotional moment.
So I can't imagine that while dealing with all of those mental health issues and drug problems, seeing your brother tour.
Bro, I was just saying, I love the entire first album. The second album, I love a lot of songs off the second album too. It's when they started making the third album that I was kind of like, because the third album has Perplexing Pegasus on it. It has Close, and then it has Powerglide. And I'm like, okay. Other than that, not really rocking with most of the songs. Excuse me. Other than Guatemala. But Shrem Life 1, No Flex Zone, This Could Be Us, Come Get Her, Up Like Trump, Throw Some Mo, No Type, UNO, or YNO. And Shrem Life 2 got By Chance, Look Alive, Set the Roof, Came a Long Way, Swang. They had some bangers in their first two albums.
Touring with Post Malone Without You is the best feeling. And this isn't even really seeing your brother touring with Post Malone Without You is the best feeling. And this isn't even really Slim Jimmy's fault either. The entire internet had been telling him throughout his entire career that his brother was better, or that he was holding his brother back throughout their career. And that genuinely seemed to affect him, to the point where he even suggested that he felt he was holding Swae back too. I mean, like I said, people were saying this throughout their whole career, with fans and even people in rap media suggesting that Swae Lee should just
don't listen to Joe Budden, bro. Come on.
Leave Slim Jimmy. With Joe Budden making this comment back in 2016.
Don't listen to Joe Budden, man. Oh my.
Could never.
Hey, Slim Jim. Hate to break it to you, buddy.
In any group.
Y'all are separating.
No, they're not.
Sorry, Mike Will.
No, they're not.
They actually confronted Joe about this, so clearly they were hearing the chatter online.
That's true.
Didn't he say some shit about, or was that Academics? Was that Academics where he said, "Do it look like I left off bad and bougie"? The Migos. Rest in peace, Take Off, man.
You don't even know what I would make a song about. You just got an impression or an idea of what you think. I don't care what you think. That's what make me me anyway.
Jimmy,
that would make me me anyway.
But Jimmy, wait. I never said that you weren't good.
No, this is what you said. Jimmy, Swae gonna leave you. Then this how you was talking. When Swae leave you, you just gonna flop.
Jimmy,
man, you got me
Jimmy,
man all the way messed
wait,
up.
no.
This was the same day. This was the same day. Whoa. Okay, bro. This is the same day as the "Do I look like I was left off bad and bougie"? Do it look like I was left off bad and bougie? No lyrics. What the fuck, bro? This is the same day, is
hey
it
man,
not?
we got the Migos with us here on the 2 Words carpet, looking like a fashion spread. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we blessed, man. We dripping too, by the way.
What going
I ain't
on?
seen this much ice
Gang
ever.
in the
What the
building.
fuck?
What the fuck going on?
Yeah, big
Yo,
stones.
I feel like every week we game, but I do want to talk to Takeoff. Takeoff, listen, I feel like there's like a running joke with you being left off bad and bougie. Like, how do you feel with the group is succeeding, but sometimes people pinpoint like, why isn't he here? Why isn't he turned up like the other two?
I ain't left off bad and bougie. You think I'm left off bad and bougie?
Say again?
You say I'm left off bad and bougie?
What? I forgot this, bro. I forgot exactly how this went down. He kept saying, "What? What'd you say? What?"
What'd you say?
You say I'm left off bad and bougie?
Yeah.
Do it look like I'm left off bad and bougie?
What'd you say?
Do it look like I'm left off bad and bougie?
Nah. I mean, it don't look like it.
Yeah, 500 on the chain. Nothing, no game.
That's one thing I like about the group, because ever since when you were in jail, even though you might see one or the other, y'all move as a collective.
All right, we got to wrap this up, though.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I be trying to jump.
I couldn't
wrap
hear
it up
anything
then.
over there, to be honest.
We good?
Close it.
Close it, close it.
That's-
How's it?
Close it.
Hey, listen, man. I wish I could talk to the Migos longer, man. It's one of my favorite groups. I've been covering for so long. I'm glad they succeeded, man.
Hey, man, you guys are nominated tonight. Have a good show.
I'm not gonna, bro. This is why you don't listen to Joe Budden, because that nigga really just made the situation worse than what it was. Close it, and then this nigga trying to be cool and like, yo, y'all one of my favorite groups. I wish I could talk to y'all longer. This nigga throw the mic, man. Fuck this shit. Like, bro, what y'all do? What are you doing, bro?
The millennials is a new generation, and we got the gang.
Stop listening to Joe Budden, nigga, please, bro. Why is this nigga even? Look, bro. Sometimes Joe Budden got some good takes, okay? I'll be honest. Sometimes that nigga got good takes. But why are we taking music advice from a nigga who has one fucking hit? Why are we taking music advice from a nigga who has one hit? And many people don't even know his one hit. Mind you, the one hit is pump it up. And you want to talk about rap, bro? Get
Effing the game up.
But again, I can't imagine it didn't get to Jimmy. For example, in a Complex interview in 2016, they were asked if they were working on solo material. The writer said that the mood in the room changed.
Do I like Pump It Up? I do. Do I think Joe Budden has better music than that? Or more music than that? No, I don't. So why the fuck are we taking music advice from a nigga who has one hit song, bro? Come on.
Jimmy's side saying,
we taking music advice from a one hit wonder.
I already know the industry been wanting to ask that question. The whole industry going to do shit to separate us. We got separate tracks because we can both rap. Like he said, the industry kept pitting the two against one another.
Well, I remember you said like right around 2020 that, although you announced that, you're out of the group, but that wasn't true. But then you said that next year that Rae Sremmurd almost broke up. You said, I felt like I wasn't really carrying my weight as an artist. You took time off to work on yourself, and you're saying that outsiders were making you and your brother like compete against each other.
Nah, it was really like, see, that was me sobering up, you know what I'm saying? Just coming to see things in a different way. Of course, we have success, we're doing great, but I feel like once you're in a position like that, you should be the best version of whatever you're trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like I was doing that, and I know my brother's a great artist, so you know what I'm saying? I don't never want him to feel like, you know what I'm saying? I always want to do my part just as a man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like the type of person who wants to be carried along. So yeah, so that's all it was. It's just me recognizing, hey, this is serious. We got a #1 hit. We're touring the world. Like, I never thought it was gonna go this far, because I'm used to shit like not going far, you know what I'm saying? Like,
in reality, both of the brothers just wanted to do different things, and at the end of the day, they are brothers.
And we've been together for so long.
How recent is this interview?
It was just a time when we both wanted to do different things. Like me, like I said, I wanted to use that time that I used for personal development, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did. And Swae wanted to continue doing music, that's what he did. And honestly, I always felt like it was time for him to get his little, the nigga make good songs every day. Like, I'm in the studio like, man, this shit hard. So it was time for him to do that. And I wanted my time to myself, so I didn't never see no problem with that. But there was a tweet that I put out which added fuel to the fire, because the people in the world just gonna talk. Social media, they gonna talk. They're like, oh, they're gonna split up.
What did you say in the tweet?
I was like, I don't even.
My lean's gone cold, I'm wondering why. Got out of bed at all. Sorry.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What I say?
Rae Sremmurd no longer group type shit.
No, that's not what I said. I ain't say that. Some shit. But
So
like,
then boom, it went viral. It's like boom, they just stuck with it.
But these weren't the only things that Rae Sremmurd had going on behind the scenes that were causing problems for the two. In the beginning of 2020, Swae and Slim's stepfather who raised them was tragically shot by their younger half-brother Michael Sullivan.
What
their
the fuck?
half-brother has schizophrenia and wasn't on his meds, so he was charged with first-degree murder. He actually briefly escaped from jail but was quickly detained. The two rappers appeared somewhat close with Michael as they'd previously taken pictures together and seemed pretty happy. So very understandably so, this was a very heartbreaking incident for the two brothers, and I can't imagine this helped their output at all.
So around that time, our dad had died. I had a lot of personal issues I was working through, and I just wanted to, I had a kid. I just had a child, and I was just trying to fix some personal things. I wanted to be like a different kind of person, you know what I'm saying? I had some shit I ain't want to be doing no more. And so that's what I took that time to do, you know what I'm saying? 4 or 5 years off.
Following this, Slim had a few legal incidents too. One when his girlfriend said that she hit him, but eventually she recanted her story on record. And there was also a fight that happened too.
That didn't have nothing to do with nothing. I was just walking the streets. These guys start tripping, and my security guard, RP the Shadow, man, that was one of the greatest security guards I ever had. But RP the Shadow, he pushed the dude back. The dude got a little rowdy, hit him over the head with a bottle, and now I'm jumping in the fight.
Why does it keep happening? The last song Swae made was October 4th, 2024. Wait, what happened to that Lean song? Got out of bed at all. What happened to that shit? I thought he dropped that officially. I guess not. And then Rae Sremmurd's last shit. 2023. Damn.
And yeah, that made it to TMZ. It was crazy.
Nothing crazy ended up coming of either of these, but I can't imagine it helped the situation. However, despite everything that was going on behind the scenes, because of what had happened online and the lack of output from Rae Sremmurd, many fans just assumed that the group was done for, with Swae Lee leaving his brother Slim Jimmy in the dust. And while people may have had that idea online, what it really seems like is a mixture of drugs, mental health issues, jealousy, and not wanting to hold his brother back, who seemed to already have it all figured out, so Slim Jimmy went MIA for a bit. One fan said, "People just wanted him to be upset that Swae Lee was the much more popular of them two and wanted a negative reaction. I actually felt bad for both of them because people just wanted to see drama and animosity between them. Swae Lee doesn't get nearly as much credit for being a loyal brother." And that's true. While Slim Jimmy may have had a little bit of jealousy shining through in some Twitter rants, at the end of the day, I'm sure he obviously wants his brother to keep winning, and I'm sure Swae Lee would support him if he was ever down bad. I mean, again, they're brothers. And eventually, thankfully, things got better and Slim Jim was able to recover from his drug struggles. He overcame his drug problem and found himself in a much better headspace after taking some time away.
But I don't do drugs no more. Like, that's one of the major reasons, because I don't like anything that takes me out of the control of myself. You know what I'm saying? If
I wish more people had that realization.
I'm not going to fuck with it. I don't drink a lot. You know what I'm saying? That situation right there, and you know, sadly, my RP to Big Floyd, my dad, you know, him passing, and my little brother going to jail, like, that was like one of the major points in my life that made me quit doing drugs altogether. You know what I'm saying?
Slim and Swae got reconnected just a few years after seemingly splitting, once Jim was done with his break. They then went on a promo run to promote their 2023 album Shrem.
Was that Diddy?
Once Jim was done with his break. They then went on a promo run.
Oh nah. Oh nah.
Run to promote their 2023 album Shrimp for Life, in which they explained that they never broke up or went solo.
Yeah, like me and Jim, like we never, I wouldn't say we pursue solo careers, but me, it probably look like that because I'm still just putting out songs, you know what I'm saying, features and stuff, so it's like they going up.
Regardless, Slim's problems combined with Swae's solo career most definitely damaged the group's legendary run and seemingly killed their momentum, as their latest album didn't do so well. After they got back from their break, rap had evolved quite a bit since like 2018, and their style didn't quite hit when they dropped. I also don't think it really got much of a marketing push at all, because I didn't even hear about it back when it came out, so it's really unfortunate.
Me neither. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Me neither. I remember one day I looked up Rae Sremmurd just out of curiosity, and then boom, a new album. I was like, what the fuck
happened? So as needed as that break may have been, it definitely wasn't very helpful for their career. Although
India Love?
Needed as that break may have been, it definitely wasn't very helpful.
Bro, is this India Love?
Helpful.
Or am I tripping?
For their career.
I must be
Although I
tripping.
doubt they care that much, as they both seem to be doing great in life. And after all those crazy diamond, platinum, and gold records, I'm sure they are good on money. Rae Sremmurd's story is definitely one of triumph and overcoming your challenges. So now that they have done that and are officially back together as a duo, I am really excited to see what they put out next. And maybe if we're lucky, they'll start putting out some bangers like they were back in the day. If you like this video, you might like my video on Beats by Dre, where I talk about what happened to the brand, how it kind of fell apart, how Apple acquired the company and kind of put them on the shelf and stole all their stuff. It's pretty
W Maddie, bruh. W Maddie, bruh. W video, bruh. For sure. I've been wanting to react to this for a few days now. W fucking reaction.